We're joined by Gary Ross before the men's soccer team takes on Grace tonight. We just got done listening to a little AC/DC. You've played a big role in setting up the pregame music this year. Did you kind of go through the old Gary Ross playlist back at the Ross household to get the pregame mix right this year?
No, I think Jude was maybe as big an influence as I was in this whole thing. We just wanted to get, honestly, in all sincerity, it actually is about mentality and about changing how we approach things. Not that necessarily AC/DC is the quintessential best mentality, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's a very driving song, and a lot of them are, right? And so we want to give a balance to letting the players choose a little bit, but we had ultimate say. And I don't know, I've had referees tell me they like our soundtrack more than any other soundtrack they've ever heard, so I don't know what that means, but great.
If we give you a couple more calls, right? You play it all the time.
Yeah, I'll take the offsides call that they don't want to give us, rather than their compliments on the music. But whatever, we'll take what we can get, I guess.
Last music question, I promise. What started with you two, where The Streets Have No Name, as kind of the intro song for when the boys walk out from the locker room?
Yeah, it's a good question. I have no idea. I love the song. I'm a huge fan of the band. And there's something about its build-up and then its crescendo to where it sort of kicks in and the, I want to run, I want to hide. It's a perfect intro song. So I've actually shared with our team over the years, like, guys, we can change it. And they're all like, no, Coach, we want to keep it. I'm like, all right, we'll keep it. So, yeah, that's that.
Well, I'm sure you're a big fan of your team's result on Wednesday. Got your first win of the year. Brian Matipis scores his first career goal. It looked like Cole was going to put it in, and it goes right off the post. And you guys finally get that first win. You guys have been so close for so long. It must have been a fun ride back here to campus on Wednesday.
Yeah, it was good, right? I mean, I think we've actually been. I know it sounds crazy. Maybe soccer's one of the few games where that's the case, but you can come out and you can play very well. We've been, on average, out-possessing teams, and we're a possession-style team. We've been out-possessing teams about 60-40, maybe 65-35. And so when you have that much of the ball and you're not getting the results, you just recognize, man, if you can keep the ball a ton, you can wear the other team out. Over time, late in games, goals end up coming your way, and you just got to be patient, let the process kind of do its thing. And so we've been patient. We're going to continue to be patient and continue to build and get better at possessing the ball and fix our mentality. And I think we were better mentally the other night, just in our grit and our toughness, and it resulted in a win for us. So we're happy.
Did it seem like there might have been a weight lifted off the guys' shoulders, knowing that they'd been doing all the right things, and they finally got to see a result for all that right work?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, I think you could see it in how we celebrated. Right at the end of it. It's just they knew they could do it. It's just a matter of going out and doing it, and then overcoming the maybe the moments that you think, oh well, maybe we can't. Maybe this is a scary moment, and just being able to sit down and or not sit down, but just to kind of hold tight, persevere, stay the course, and just do the things that we've been teaching them to do. And they did a really good job. They took a lot of responsibility the other night and changed the way they were focusing on how they were doing what they're doing. So we're proud of them, man.
Big one here against Grace tonight. Yeah. It was a crazy game here last year on homecoming with Michael Maloney's game winner that sent there was a whole bunch of people around here with the baseball alumni game going on and the food trucks, and I mean it kind of sent this whole area into delirium. Yeah. What is different about Grace from a year ago to this year?
Oh, I think they're going to be just as good. I think they were a good team last year. I think we were fortunate to get the result that we had. I think Luke had an absolutely stellar game, shut him down a number of different times on shots that were just unbelievable saves on his part on good shots. So I think they'll continue to play a lot like they played, very attack-minded. They'll have probably just three in the back, and they'll probably play a 3-4-3, which is what they did last year as well. They're good in possession. I'd say you can look to see them try to get the ball in the middle and then pump it out wide and then give early crosses in, and then sort of work on mistakes. They'll press us high, I think, in our defensive third, and so we've been working on those things and just getting ready for it. So it's a hardworking team. Aaron's a good coach, and yeah, we'll just have to just do our jobs tonight.
Last thing, when you play an outdoor sport, the weather is always a factor. Sure. It's very calm right now wind-wise, but if the wind would pick up as the night wears on, how would that affect a team like you guys or Grace's, and how does that affect the sport of soccer?
Yeah, it's fair. It's a good question. I think, like when we were at St. Francis, the wind was definitely a factor. I would actually rather go into the wind because when you're trying to hit some of those balls that are a little deeper, it actually holds it up a little bit. When you're going with the wind, if you hit a through ball or a more of a direct play, it's going to like push the ball out of bounds. And so, but with both Grace and I, both Grace and Taylor, we're both possession style teams, and so. We like to keep the ball on the floor as much as possible. So if the wind does pick up, I don't think it's going to change the game a ton. I think the possession is going to just that's going to be the name of the game tonight. And whoever can keep the ball and do the best with it will win.
Gary, thanks for the time. Best of luck against Grace.
Appreciate it. Thanks. Yep.
Number 6, Jules Peslon. Number 8, TJ White. 9, Marcelo Talamas. Number 10, Jordan Jayapura. Number 20, Felipe Gruber. Number 21, Ulysses Miranda. Number 23, Flavio Cruz. Lancers are coached by Aaron Patrick and are assisted by Austin Ultimus, Isaac Lindahl, Joe Cutuli, and Josiah Osborne. And now, here's the starting lineup for your Taylor Trojans. Starting in goal, number 1, Joaquin Hansen. Number 3, Braden Murphy. Number 4, Owen Hardy. Number 12, Alex Gallup. Number 14, Webby Peary. Number 15, Quinn Partain. Number 16, Jack McNeil. Number 17, Jackson Hoosier. Number 18, Cole Gilliam. Number 19, Gabe Bowron. Number 21, Matt Harold. The Trojans are coached by Gary Ross and are assisted by Jude Johansson. At this time, we ask that you stand if you're able, and gentlemen, please remove your caps.
Good evening and welcome here to Turner Stadium on the campus of Taylor University for tonight's Crossroads League men's soccer matchup between the Taylor University Trojans and the Grace College Lancers. My name is Rick Johnson. This is the Marion General Hospital pre-match breakdown. Taylor comes in with a 1-5 overall record, 1-4 in Crossroads League play after their thrilling win in double overtime at St. Francis on Wednesday, with Brian Matipa scoring his first career goal with 90 seconds left to go in double OT. Grace comes off of a 1-0 setback at number 12 Spring Arbor on Wednesday. Grace still in search of their first win of the year, 0-2-1 overall. All three contests have been in the Crossroads League. Right now they are tied for fourth in the Rhodes Division with Goshen, 2 points back of Spring Arbor. Taylor last in the Cross Division, but just 1 point back of Marion and 3 points back of St. Francis, the team that they beat on Wednesday night. The Trojans had come so close, we thought they were knocking on the door of their first win on Saturday a week ago against Indiana Wesleyan, but the Wildcats scored 2 big goals in the second half to come away with a 3-2 win. Taylor got the victory on Wednesday, and now we'll see if they can play with a little bit of lighter load on those shoulders after getting the first win of the year. Grace has scored just 1 goal this season. They've given up 3 of them. And they bring back the top offensive player in the year ago, Marcelo Talamas, as this one kicked out of play by Grace, and we are underway with the Trojans moving from left to right in white with purple numbers and purple letters. Grace in the red uniforms that fade to black at the bottom on the front, red shorts and red socks with the white numbers on the front and back. Your keeper matchup tonight, Joe Bowles, senior out of London, England, who has played and started every minute in the goal this year for Grace. He's allowed 3 goals, 10 saves, has an 0-2-1 overall record. For the Trojans, it's Joaquin Hansen, who is, again, just like his counterpart tonight, played every minute in the goal this year for TU. He's allowed 15 goals, stopped 39 shots, and has that 1-5-0 overall record. Talamas to the far side of the field as Grace shoots on the goal to our left. A thrilling victory last year for the Trojans over Grace on homecoming weekend. And Grace will kick this off of Quinn Partain in the far corner. And it'll be a throw-in as it curled off of the sideline across from us, instead of across the end line. Grace players thought it was going to be a time for a corner. Instead, it'll be a throw-in by the aforementioned Talamas. Throws it in here nicely to Gruber. Swept away by Partain, but held in here by TJ White of Grace. Pass back to the center circle and Flaviu Cruz. And now back to Kyle Smith. They did not list heights on the Grace roster, but Kyle Smith is a tall fella, at least 6'3", maybe even taller at 6'4". But he is a ginormous human being back there on the back row, or the back line for Grace defensively. Gilliam steps in, his feet taken out by White, and an early foul called against the visitors as Gilliam had the inside position, just could not find his footing as White helped him down to the turf. And White will help him actually make that. Jordan Ja-Purum helps Gilliam to his feet. Ja-Purum, a sophomore out of New Zealand. You heard in our pre-match conversation with Gary Ross, the head coach of the Trojans in his 17th season, Aaron Patrick in his 2nd season leading GC. A long ball sent to the end line, too far for Quinn Partain to get to, and Bowles will have the goal kick here for GC. But you're going to see 2 teams that love to possess the ball tonight, and it'll be interesting to see who can possess the ball better. It is a beautiful, beautiful night for soccer here in Upland, Indiana. Temperatures are going to be in the high 50s, low 60s. We're going to be in the 50s for the majority of the night, but there is 0 wind right now after it was pretty windy the last couple of days here on the Taylor campus. Big run here by Johnny Mora trying to get around Hoosier. It's played across the end line, last touched by Grace. Here comes a Joaquin Hansen goal kick for the first time tonight. Hoosier blasts one up towards Gilliam near side, headed away from him by Kyle Smith. Knocked down by Gabe Bowen. Little fake, and now Bowen running. Sweeps it to the left where there's Owen Hardy. Mom and dad here watching Owen play tonight. Younger sister AC and the Taylor women's soccer team at Grace, one of the top 15 teams in the land, so we'll keep you up to date on that match as time allows. Pass to the middle. Braden Murphy jumps on top of it, sends it back to where it came from for Taylor. Gabe Bowen muscles his way in, is trying to work it up to Taylor's attacking side, and McNeil throws his head on it, and the 2 teams keep trading headers with Kyle Smith bashing one forward for GC. Braden Murphy trying to pester the senior Talamas out of Mexico, last year's Crossroads League Offensive Player of the Year. Talamas in the middle. Rainbows one to the far side end line, trying to send it back in to the middle of play, but it sails out on the kick by Pacelon. Grace 0-1 in their only road contest of the year. Taylor still in search of their first home victory. They're 0-4. So one of these 2 teams will get a positive result in those 2 categories here tonight. Or if a tie, both teams will be a positive result. Here's Grace applying pressure against Taylor defensively in the back as the Trojans try to knock it forward. Gallup kicked it forward, wanted a handball, and then a whistle comes from all the way in the back as Grace is able to get possession back, and so the handball whistled, and Gallup will get ready to drive this one forward. Hansen to Hoosier, back to Hansen, and this is the first time we've seen a team all year apply such strong pressure against Taylor defensively when they try to set things up from the defensive end. Flavio Cruz to throw it in, throws it back to Smith with Cole Gilliam applying pressure. It was Gilliam's shot that set up the Matipa winner on Wednesday night. And Cole just inches away from his first collegiate goal. They would have won it on Wednesday. It bounced right to Matipa's feet, and he finished it. As Grace kicks this one out of play far side as we're just over 5 minutes in. Still no score, still no shots from either of these two possession-heavy ball clubs. Gallup a throw in. Partain knocks it back to Gilliam on the far side of the field. Gilliam lost his footing, but Webby Peary, the freshman out of Zambia, jumps on top of the ball and plays it back to his classmate Hoosier, who rips one low, skirting in to find Gilliam far side with two Lancers on his back hip. Dips it up to Partain, the two Illinois natives trying to connect here. Partain keeps it moving forward. The ball pops free. Partain trying to create, lays it back there as Hardy couldn't get it to him, to his fellow Wheaton Academy mate. And Grace will clear it out of the penalty area for the time being. Murphy thought about moving it forward. It was taken away from him by GC, and here come the Lancers from right to left in red. Hoosier steps in front of the pass and finds McNeil in the center circle. Peary lets this one go on through to Gilliam. Partain has to check up or we've been offside. And Gilliam lays it back to Murphy with the ball in the middle of the field. Here's Peary. Fakes right and goes left. Slips one through to Partain, who's onside. Left edge of the penalty area. Partain lets her go and misses it on the near side, but a late whistle comes. It's an offside against Quinn Partain. That whistle did not come until the ball had already left Partain's foot. The Taylor students down below us voice their disagreement with that call. Cruz from the defensive end for GC. Up near the midline, and Gruber trying to spin away from McNeil. Bump from behind by Harold. Hardy comes in trying to take it, and they whistle Harold for the foul. First one against Taylor. And a quick restart here by GC. Partain got his foot on it, kicked it out of play as it was intended for Pacelon. 7 minutes into the opening half, no score, no shots between either of these two teams so far. Taylor has scored 6 goals on the year, but they've allowed 15. Grace has scored just 1. They've allowed just 3 in their 3 matches this season. McNeil off the errant pass, a long one up to Hardy, who's a little touchdown to Bowron. Sidesteps as Bowron and works his way to the middle. Pass to the center circle, and Peary almost lost the ball underneath his boots and will carry towards his left in the far sideline. Back to Gallup, one of the 3 captains for the Trojans, along with Partain and Gilliam. Hoosier, who scored his first collegiate goal here to tie the match with Iwu last week, sends a long ball in, trying to connect with Hardy, who's got to sprint his heart out to the near side corner, and Owen jumps on top of it and keeps it from rolling across the end line. And now Hardy dancing with it as he moves back to the right, curling one on the end line. It'll be snagged by the keeper, Bowles, and he'll rip one out and roll one to the far side with the right hand. Peary and Gallup both there. Goes off of Peary, saying that he kicked it off of Talamas. But it'll be a Grace throw-in far sideline as they go from right to left in red to the Lancers. And the Trojans are in white. Smith to Cruz, near side of the field. A pass across midfield to the Gruber, who tries to spin to the middle, and he does. Right foot's one far side of the field as GC carries forward. Nice long pass to find Miranda. Little flick in, Talamas too far for him to get to, and Hansen will snag that one up on the long pass from Ulysses Miranda. And now here comes the pressure from Grace again. Again, first time we've seen an opposing team apply this much of pressure against the Trojans in the back half when they try to move it forward. Tight work for Jordan Japurum. He went down on the challenge and draws a foul against TU. Japurum with a smile on his face after he gets the jeering from the Taylor students down below us. Japurum out of New Zealand. Partain, though, takes it right off the man's toe, and now Partain will charge forward. Left edge of the field, Partain from distance. It's blocked by Smith and goes out of play across the far sideline as Partain try to connect from long range. Zé Maria Gonçalves ready to check in at the next chance for Grace as they go to an early sub. Not even 10 minutes into the opening half. Left edge, Partain trying to spin over that right shoulder, does. Sends one into the middle of the penalty area, kicked away nicely by Cruz to the sky. Murphy gets his head on it, and then this one volleyed aggressively away, all the way across midfield by Grace. Nobody there except Jackson Hoosier of TU. McNeil, near side to Bowron, too far for him, and it goes out. And Grace will throw it in front of their own bench, but not before. Gonçalves checks in. He's out of Lisbon, Portugal. It looks like he will check in for Marcelo Talamas, the top offensive player for GC. And now Taylor will ramp up their pressure against Grace in the defensive end. Gilliam got there just a step late before Bowles drove one to the other end. So Talamas gets a breather. As Gonçalves checks in. A little lay back there by GC. They try to pass it to the middle. Flicked on nicely by Miranda. Here comes Hansen as to avoid his own teammate in McNeil. Does. And Hansen holds on to the ball for TU. Just one shot for the Trojans. That was Partain after he took the ball right off the toe of a Grace player, but it was blocked by the big fella, Smith, who's got the ball right here to Bowles in his neon yellow uniform tonight. And Gilliam again almost gets in front to block the long kick from Bowles. Gonçalves battling with Murphy, and Murphy will come away with it. And he will throw it in for Taylor on the far sideline. Actually call that a foul against Grace, and a quick restart for Murphy as he kicks it back to Gallup. They move it to the near side of the Trojans. McNeil lets it slip on through, trying to get to the end line. Shoved out of bounds by Mora. Taylor pleads for a foul that will fall on deaf ears. Mora throws it in. It might be fall break, but the Taylor students are out in full force here tonight, letting the officials hear it. Cruz to the midline in white. They reverse the point of attack to the far side. GC dribbling forward, slipping on through was Hamlin to the top of the box. Hoosier was there, runs through two challenges, and now he comes up to the near side. He'll let Hardy run after it. Pass was too far and taken away by Flavio Cruz. Then Hoosier gets it back, but his pass cut down again by Mora. Cruz will work one to the middle. And now Grace attacking here, moving from right to left in red. They find Cruz, left edge of the penalty area, sends one in, blocked by McNeil. It'll go off and over the end line, and here comes a corner for the first time tonight for either team. And we'll see who takes this corner for the Lancers. Here comes the young man jogging forward. It will be Pacelon, number 6, Jules Pacelon out of France. Both hands in the air, right foot in the ball, quick working, and it's headed away nicely by Gilliam on the corner from the near side of the field. TJ White to hold it in, sends one back into the backside of the penalty area. He's got a teammate lurking there. A centering ball. This one bounces it through, still loose in the penalty area. Hansen calling for a handball, and it'll be whistled on the far side of the field. .31-30 remaining here in this first half. No shots for Grace just yet. The Trojans have one, but no score to show for it so far. Gallup up to Peary for Taylor. So again, they've got pressure all over the place coming from Grace. Murphy feels the pressure, fades away and tries to kick it up far side. Cannot connect with Peary. And GC's got the ball on the right edge of the penalty area. Sending one in, a little flick back to Gonçalves. But he can't clear. Now it's worked back to White. Sliding is Hardy. White takes it away from him, trying to elude Taylor defenders, and they go back to the far side of the field as Grace. Centering pass to the top. Gonçalves' shot was blocked. He gets it back, trying to find an open space. He cannot. And then Murphy will try to tow it forward, and now he does. But too far as Murphy had to play it away from a defender, and Hamlin holds it in for Grace. Murphy fights for position, kicks it off of a GC player, and Taylor will throw it in on the far sideline. Taylor moving from left to right in white here in the opening half against Grace, as Clay Vanderkolk gets loose down to our left. Hoosier moving forward. Big right foot as here comes Bowron cutting in. Cruz flicks it on, and Bowron's got him beat to the near sideline. Bowron on top now surveys the area. Little step over move. Thought about going back to his right, lays it back to McNeil up near side Bowron. Cruz cuts it off, and then he passes it forward to Mora. But Mora loses it, and McNeil called for a foul in the back before Peary could jump on the loose ball. Third foul against Taylor here in the first half. "15 minutes in to the first half, no score, a shot for both sides so far. It was Gonçalves who had it, and then Harold whistled for the foul as he got a little too handsy there with the GC player. So two heavily possessive teams. And this one to the penalty area, deflected away by the Taylor defense, and a corner upcoming once again for GC from the near side. It'll be Pacelon once again. And that ball had a lot of pace when he sent it in from the near side corner a few moments ago. Still scoreless, 15 minutes into the opening half. Near side corner as GC shoots on the goal to our left. This one deflected away from trouble, and it goes rolling softly and quietly to the far sideline. And a fancy flag wave in the air from our official across from us. Lancers with a throw in. Clay Vanderkolk awaits his turn to come in. It'll be the second or third match of the year that Clay has played this year after making his debut a week ago. Gonçalves, right edge of the box, rising left foot, and this one sails high and wide. And here comes Vanderkolk. And Clay will spell Hardy, I think. Yes, he'll spell Owen Hardy. Vanderkolk, 5'10" junior out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and North Point Christian High School. And then a big boot from Gallup, trying to connect with Gilliam. It hits his feet and Smith's feet, and Gilliam able to spin away first and get on top of it. Good work, however, by Corey Hamlin to take it away, as then Partain take it down on the far side of the field, rolling around trying to get the call, but it's going to go on a foul against TU. Great start to work it out of the back. Smith has got pressure coming from Gilliam. Will heel one to the near side and Cruz as they try to keep away from the always pesky Cole Gilliam. They work it back into the box, does Grace. Bowles will drive one forward across midfield. Off the toe of Miranda. Kicked away from him by Hoosier or McNeil. And Mora will throw it in for Grace on the near side. And then Bowron called for the foul about 10 yards outside the box on the near side. Fifth foul against Taylor here in the first half. Actually make it their sixth. Very fluid first half here so far. Again, not a lot of shots. 3 shots for GC. Taylor with 1 and only 1 shot on goal. It's been a pretty smooth moving and, again, very fluid first half it feels like. 2-man wall for Taylor. Now a 3-man wall as Bowron comes in to help. Little left-footed flick in. Still deflected around. McNeil got his head on it for Taylor. Gonçalves to the near side and Mora. Mora left foots one into the box. Knocked down by Hoosier, but Mora right there on top of it for GC near side. Just on the edge of the box, Bowron trying to take it away from him. As Mora circles and lays it back near side for the Lancers. Cruz to Ja Perham. Thought about a long shot, now takes one, squirts across the turf. And Joaquin Hansen right there to smother it up. There was a player inside the penalty area in Ulysses Miranda, but the flag had gone in the air. If Miranda would have played it, he would have been ruled offside. Instead, Hoosier whiffs on trying to kick it back to Hansen. Now it's a turnover with White from distance, bouncing in. Hansen watches it bounce away. And with 26 minutes remaining before halftime, Hansen will get his first goal kick in a while. Again, here comes the pressure. They close in on Hansen. Will flick it back far side, dangerously close to the end line. Gallup was able to play it away, but now Hansen limping a little bit as he's back in Taylor's defensive end with that pressure applied on him. Past the middle by Partain. Somehow Harold came away with it, but then he lost it. And here comes Mora pressing forward for Grace. McNeil plays it by him as he has a little hits the brakes and plays by. Bowron looking up to Peary. Wanted to sweep it on to Vanderkolk, cannot. Peary came in, ran by, and now here comes Grace the other way with Cruz playing it near side to Gonçalves. Gonçalves thought about crossing, side steps away from Bowron, sends one in right to the hand, right to the knee and the thigh of Matt Harold. Grace thought it went off of his hand, which was dangerously close to hitting the ball off of his hip and his thigh. End line, out of bounds before Pacelon could get there. Five shots to one in favor of Grace. And now Hansen has a talk with our lead official. Hansen was limping a little bit after that play a few minutes ago, but he looks to be just fine right now. McNeil near sideline to Vanderkolk. Down to Bowron. Wanted to go back to Vanderkolk. It was deflected, and McNeil headed up to Vanderkolk once again. But Grace able to hold it in here. A little sidestep move by Ja Purim. And to the far side it goes to Pacelon. Pacelon looking, sends it in from the far side, backside of the penalty area. And there goes Hansen soaring up and pulling it out of the sky. He'll quickly reset and punt it forward. Gilliam, the only Taylor player back, went off the back of his skull and out of bounds near side. And a quick restart upcoming here for Flaviu Cruz, who throws it back to Kyle Smith, then the Bulls inside the penalty area. As Grace sends it all the way around, far side of the field. And now the Lancers send the long ball in here through the middle. Hansen toes near the top of the box, lets the ball bounce into him. And then we'll send it right back to where it came from. They'll roll it out to Hoosier, who's to his right, down right in front of him. Right sideline down below us and McNeil. Bowron, pressure came from behind, tried to get it to Peary. Poked it forward, got through one challenge, couldn't get through the second. And they're going to call a foul against Peary. It was a miss. It was a missed call. The Taylor fans were ready to go nuts against the lead official, who signaled that it was going against Taylor. This made the wrong signal, and so it will be a Jackson Hoosier free kick. Brian Matipa, the hero from Wednesday, and Paul McBride are ready to check in at their next chance. Hoosier, a big right foot. Gallup and Vanderkolk were tracking it. There's Partain, heading it back towards the middle of the penalty area, finally cleared away by Kyle Smith of Grace. And Peary tracks it down far sideline for TU. Trojans shooting on the goal to our right, trying to find the first goal of the night with less than 22.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Nice little give and go. Peary to Partain, centering ball backside, and it was flicked away just before Gilliam was setting up shop inside the 18, as both he and Murphy were right there. Gilliam was in goal-scoring position, and then the ball was kicked away from him. Or flicked away from him. And now here comes Partain with the corner near side for his dominant left foot. First corner of the night for the Trojans and their first dangerous set-piece opportunity tonight. Left hand in the air for Partain, left foot into the ball. In swinger, Gilliam got his head on it, but it went straight into the air. Gallup trying to track it, wants to flick it back from the end line. And it crossed the end line, but it was sent out of bounds off of a Grace player, and so we'll reset everything and have Partain take it again from the near side of the field. With Smith in there for GC, it can make life tough to try for Partain to try and find either Gallup or Gilliam, or try to slip it all the way to the backside and McNeil like they did a few weeks ago. Quinn's ready. This one an outswinger to the backside. McNeil trying to track it. To the end line it goes. It went off of McNeil as Vanderkolk was about to step away from trying to save it. And before the goal kick, they'll allow Matipa and Paul McBride to come in. They replace Peary and Bowron.
Just in for your Trojans, number 2, Ryan Matipa, number 11, Paul McBride.
Less than 21 minutes remaining here in the opening half. 5 shots to 2 for the Trojans, or excuse me, for Grace, and still no score to show for them. But again, a very enjoyable first half to watch here so far. McBride takes a spill, and Grace keeps moving it forward with Mora. Wants to curl to the man running in, ball bounced behind him, and Hoosier will clear it away. That was Miranda that was soaring up the middle of the field for GC. Cruz To the middle. And Gonçalves got around Gallup. Gonçalves comes in. Somehow it was stopped by Hansen with his heels. A heel click from Hansen keeps our match scoreless here in the first half. Pacelon works it on. Gonçalves flick to the middle over McNeil's head, trying to knock it down as GC. Harold comes in, bashes the ball out of play. It'll go across the end line and be a Grace corner, but good recovery by Harold to come in, get in the air, win the aerial, and keep the ball away from Gruber, who is dangerously outside the 6. Third corner of the night here for Grace, and just like the previous two, Pacelon will take it from the near side corner. Right foot's one all the way to the backside of the box where nobody is as Jack McNeil chases it down. And it will go out and be a throw-in from the far corner. And just like they have all night, Grace turns up the pressure as Taylor tries to move it out the defensive end. It's led to some good scoring opportunities for the Lancers here early on in this first half, as they're the first team that's tried to do this against Taylor here this season. Partain just right foots one away from trouble. Smith holds it in at the midline for GC. White couldn't get a good clearance, as now Harold lays it down to the sprinting Paul McBride. Paul McBride fakes to his left, back heel flick. Good pressure by White, and that forces Taylor to turn it over with White having the ball at his feet. Mora to the middle and Gonçalves wanted his trailer Ja Purim. Vanderkolk right there. Ja Purim takes a spill, and the head official tells him to get back up. White 5 yards inside midfield to Cruz on the left edge. Cruz tiptoeing his way forward, knifes the ball through, but it's cut off by Jackson Hoosier of Taylor. White holds it in for GC, back up to Mora, and then to the near side and Gruber. With Hoosier marking him, Gruber a back heel flick to Cruz, who came in behind, curls one towards the top. Murphy overran it, long range shot will go in from way out by Pacelon, just outside the box. So with 18:05 remaining in the first half, Pacelon gets Grace on the board. Just their second goal of the year, the first one for Pacelon. And GC leads 1-0. We'll see who they give the assist to, but Pacelon was just outside, played that shot to the near side corner of the goal. And Hansen, there was no way for Hansen to get over to that ball. So Taylor down 1-0 here with less than 18 minutes in the first half. Murphy with pressure all around him. Partain comes to help, and then Matipa will keep it moving in Taylor's favor back to the defensive end. Gallup drives one as Smith backpedals and heads one down, and then he gets it back from his teammate. He'll let it roll to Bowles, and the Grace keeper sends it away. Then Gallup will flick it forward with a right foot. Matipa knocks it down for Taylor. Far side, Partain's got to get to it quick, try to play it through a defender's feet, but the ball went out of bounds before Partain could get on top of it. And Grace will have a throw-in from about the middle of their own end, or their own defensive end, I should say. Gonçalves to White, and then back to Cruz. Cruz has been very dynamic tonight for Grace, creating a lot of opportunities from the defensive end. And he's the one who got the assist. Back to the middle, McNeil knocks it straight down and then clears away from the top of the 18. But Cruz will chest it down and hold it in for GC. Near side, Mora surveying, and then McBride comes and applies the pressure. McNeil comes in and kicks it away. Cruz to White in the middle. White looking on the turf. Wanted to slip on through the Gonçalves. Gallup cuts him off and sends it away. Good move near side by Gruber. McNeil trying to cut him off of the end line. Gruber fakes one cross and then goes off of McNeil's foot. And another corner upcoming here for the Lancers. It'll be their fourth one tonight. And Pacelon will again take the fourth corner of the night. This one in, Hansen got it and knocked it down with no real trouble around him. Hansen flings one out to the near side, pinpointly to Paul McBride. Up to Vanderkolk, he's got a whole bunch of red jerseys around him. 3 to be exact. Vanderkolk trying to get away, cannot. Then he grabs the man around the shoulders and takes down Ja Perham. 7th foul against Taylor here in the opening half. They trail 1-0 with 15:23 remaining here in the opening stanza. Bulls back to Kyle Smith. To Ja Perham out of New Zealand. Smith, those long legs, taking the long strides. This long pass intended for Gruber, deflected away, and now down to Brian Matipa for Taylor. Taylor carrying near side with Vanderkolk, down 1-0 in the match. McBride tried to send it into the cutting Matipa, was cut off by one of the Grace defenders, and Grace can't clear it away, and McNeil will hold it in for TU. Vanderkolk looks over his shoulder, back to McNeil. It rolled past him, and then Paul McBride will change the point of attack, driving it all the way to the far side. Gallup jumps into the air for Taylor, could not keep it moving forward, and Grace now find the feet of Gonçalves. And Alex Gallup whistled for the foul. They'll stop the clock as Gallup kicked the ball away, and now they'll stop the clock with 14:31. It looks like Gallup has been warned about a delay of game potentially by driving that ball away out of frustration. Noah Rodman and James McBride ready to come in for Taylor. Dago Adach about to come in for Grace. 1-0 Lancers lead on the first goal of the year by Jules Pacelon. GC able to hold it in far side as Taylor couldn't get out of their defensive end. Near side and Gruber for GC, dribbling forward. Vanderkolk comes back, Gruber darts to his right. Challenge comes from Matipa, and Gruber lays it back to White. Gruber near side, long pass, could not get away as McBride poked it away from him. McBride surveying up to Gilliam with 2 defenders around him. Big first touch. Gilliam lost it, tried to get it back. Running in, ball taken down. And now McBride with the ball at his feet. McBride from distance with the keeper out, sends it high over the crossbar. As McBride tried to tie our game at 1. Here come Rodman and James McBride along with Adach for GC. Exiting will be Gruber for the Lancers. Paul McBride out for TU along with Partain. Vanderkolk almost got the possession back for Taylor. And then the ball finds the feet of Bowles, the Grace keeper, who's in neon yellow tonight. Taylor with the white shorts and the white socks for Hansen and the neon green uniform. Smith header knocked down by Matipa, who's ushered away. Pressure comes from Rodman. And they'll call the foul against either Matipa or Rodman as Ja Perham fell down. Eighth foul against Taylor tonight. 12:35 remaining in the first half. Grace still leading by 1, still in first search of their first win of the season. White comes across midfield. Gets away before Matipa could make a play on it. Vanderkolk turns and now finds Rodman all by his lonesome. To the middle of the field in Cole Gilliam. And tries to find the speedy James McBride far side. That pass just a hair too long away from McBride. Again, no wind to speak of here like we saw on Wednesday with the women's soccer team here against St. Francis, where that was a definite advantage on which way you're going with the wind either at your back or in your face. No wind to speak of tonight. Beautiful evening. And it'll become even more beautiful if Taylor can find an equalizing tally here. Murphy sends it back to Gallup. Long pass forward. Pinpoint finds his classmate Gilliam. Far side, Jay McBride, too short for him to get to. Grace clears it away, and Gallup will quickly throw it in on the far side. Back to Hoosier. They're tugging on his arm, still tugging on his arm. And Grace able to get the ball away and then move it forward. But then McNeil takes it right off the toe of Mora. McNeil had Rodman calling for it, couldn't get it to him cleanly. And now Vanderkolk deals up to the big fellow Rodman. End line, McNeil crossing. Right there, Cole Gilliam, and right there was Bowles. But a beautiful look by the Trojans to get pinpoint passing and try to find Gilliam inside the penalty area. First save of the night for Bowles. Good defense by the Trojans, forces a Grace throw-in as Cedric Brenneman comes in for GC. He of Goshen, Indiana. He comes in to replace Mora of Elkhart, Indiana. A lot of international players on the GC roster. Left-footed centering ball through the 18. McBride, that's Jay McBride, gets low and heads that one away. 10:25 and counting here in the opening half. With Grace leading 1-0 onto the first goal of the season by Jules Pacelon. Pacelon has it and sweeps it back towards the midfield line. White turns and finds the ball behind his feet. Dribbling to the near side, now stops. His pass intercepted by Vanderkolk of Taylor. Matipa back to Hoosier. His long try cut down by Cruz at midfield. Brenneman trying to elude Vanderkolk, finds Ja Perham with Harold right there on his hip, but a missed touch by GC finds the ball at the feet of Cole Gilliam for TU. Matipa, left edge of the circle, back to Murphy, who scored his first goal of his career last Saturday against Indiana Wesleyan on this very field. Gallup, up to Murphy, trying to save it, could not on the far side in front of the bleachers across from us. Smith in the defensive end, no pressure by the Trojans. Cruz, beautiful pass here. Brenneman trying to get behind Hoosier. Hansen comes out and sends it back to where it came from across midfield. Matipa, push from behind. Rodman comes in, cuts the ball down, but right to Ja Perham. Grace trying to move forward, ball far side. And Ja Perham taken down cleanly by Matipa, but no foul is called. There have been a couple times both coaching staffs have looked at the officials when they've swallowed the whistle. Matipa across midfield to Grace's defensive half, and the Lancers might have turned it over. Rodman steps in, wanted to quickly work it to Gilliam. It was cut down, but then good move by Rodman, but then he kicks it across the end line on a big first touch, and that'll set up a goal kick for Bowles and Grace. Taylor's had a couple of opportunities in hockey. You'd call it a forecheck. With some challenges as Grace tries to build from the defensive end. And quick little spurts on the goal to our right, but nothing to show for it just yet, down 1-0. Miranda weaving through everybody, now turns and Ulysses plays it to the near side and Dodge. A Dodge out of Japan, left edge of the penalty area, left foot rising. Was it deflected to get there? It was not. Cleanly out by Adach. And with less than 8 minutes remaining here in the first half, it'll be a goal kick for Hansen. Taylor being outshot 7-4 and 4 shots to 2 in shots on goal. Matipa to midfield, near sideline Vanderkolk in his third game of the year for the Michigan native. Hoosier, right footing one forward. Matipa trying to find it. Cruz cut it off, headed it back to Vanderkolk, who flicks his forehead and plays the ball towards the middle. Ja Perham, now down to McNeil. Tight quarters with Harold, poked away from him, and Brenneman plays it up to Adach. Behind his intended target, coming back to get it was Miranda. He was flipped down by the challenge of Murphy, and Taylor called for their 9th foul of the night. Quick restart near side with Cruz, who's been very fun to watch tonight for Grace. White to one of the captains, Hamlin. Back to White. Rodman comes to apply pressure from the center circle. Grace taking their time with less than 7 minutes to go before halftime, leading 1-0. Now Rodman applies pressure from behind on White. Long lollipop pass near side to Cruz. Lays it back to Adach. Adach to the middle. Ja Perham, some room to let one go. Flicks one on, and Hansen will jump up, but he'll sail over the crossbar. And a goal kick upcoming for Hansen on a nice look there from Ja Perham. Ryan Killian in for TU, replacing McNeil. Killian's pass misses the intended man. White trying to find somebody in front. That was going Sash. Taylor able to clear it away to Gilliam, who's been hugged around the waist by Hamlin. Gilliam breaks free of the hug and lays it back to Gallup. Big first touch from Jay McBride. Tries to get back. Going Sash carrying forward for GC. They flick it far side to Pacelon, the only goal scored tonight for the Lancers. 5:40 and ticking here in the first half. And Grace leading 1-0 in search of their first win of the year. Big challenge from Gilliam. Got the ball and took the man with him. But they couldn't keep moving it forward, and now Grace will again set things up on the far side. As they go from right to left, this is on the right side of the field. Hamlin to the middle and White. Gilliam there for every step, and then they go back to Pacelon far side. Pacelon centering, has got a man in the middle, flicked on by Adash, and it's smothered up by Hansen. Hoosier passes up to Vanderkolk, back to Killian. Near side, going to be too far for Rodman to get to. It'll roll out at the end of the Grace bench. And Smith will throw it in as we dip below 5 minutes to go before halftime. A 1-0 Grace lead. They've outshot Taylor 9-4 and 4-2 in shots on goal tonight. Hoosier punching it forward. Rodman laying it back to Gilliam in space. Gilliam looks to his right, stops the ball, points where he wants Vanderkolk to go, and sends it to him. That blonde hair bouncing with every step by Vanderkolk. Kicked away by Cruz underneath. As Clay's grown that hair out beautifully here since in the summer months. So Vanderkolk will throw it in on the near side. Heaves it over Rodman's head. Smith will head it back to the empty area near side. Trying to turn and go is Grace. Adash had to go off of his shoulder. And Gallup will scoop it up far side and press it forward for Taylor to Jay McBride. He wanted his classmate Murphy shoved from behind by Ja Perham to get that space, and now it's White rotating inside the center circle. 3:50 and counting, through ball to Adash. Hansen there, fakes the long kick, and he had Adash go flying by. Hansen dribbled forward, knocked down by the left knee of James McBride across from us. Back across midfield to the defensive end. Gallup sends it in towards the far corner. Smith is there with Rodman barreling down behind, but a big first touch by Smith will exit stage left, and McBride will throw it in across from us. Taylor down 1-0, hoping for some more late first half magic like they had here a week ago. Good job by TJ White to sweep that ball high and away. Ball spinning like a top in the middle of the field, and Grace will push it forward with Ja Perham. Too far for Pacelon? Yes, off the side of Ja Perham's right boot. So we'll let James McBride throw it in for Taylor. 4 shots of the night for the home team. And Gilliam just inside midfield. Fighting for position with Ja Perham. Turned away. Here comes Gonçalves after Grace took it away from Taylor. Middle of the field, Miranda. Ulysses from long range. Bends it too far to the near side. It goes out. It'll be a Hansen goal kick with 2:35 left to go before halftime. Killian trying to find Gilliam. Kicked away from him by White. Harold pops right on top of it. Killian near side off the back of a Grace player. Partain hops into the air. He's not playing right now and quickly gives the ball back to Killian. Taylor trying to create one last push here with 2:10 remaining in the first half, down 1-0. Good save by Matipa. Killian couldn't find anyone wearing white. And it'll be bashed forward by Hamlin. Gonçalves out of Portugal, marked by Gallup. Curls one in, trying to knock it down were the Trojans, and who touched it? It went off of Taylor and across the end line, and so here comes a corner from the near side for Grace. With 1:43 and counting, it'll be the 5th corner of the first half for GC. It'll be the goal scorer tonight, Jules Pacelon, to take it, just like he has on the previous 4 corners for the visitors. They're screaming for TJ White to go get it. He does, just inside the penalty area. Back to Pacelon on the end line, left side. Rainbow's one to the back side of the box. Hamlin had it going. Smith had it cut down from him. Back inside the 18. Somehow stopped by Hansen. And then the Trojans trying to clear once again. Vanderkolk comes in and left foots one away with 1:12 left to go here in the first half. And Taylor breaking up the far side. Huge stop there from Hanson and the Taylor D as we hit 1 minute remaining here in the first half to keep the score at 1-0 in favor of Grace. Gallup taking his time on the far side. Throws it into Murphy. And now turns and heads up. And dishes off to Rodman. Pokes it back. Here's Gallup filling the void. Long pass through, but Grace sends it right back to where it came from. Turning and trying to create is Ulysses Miranda. Taken away from him by Jackson Hoosier. Murphy collides with Ja Perham, and now Grace will press forward with 30 seconds left to go in the first half, ahead by 1. Brenneman trying to shake away from the finely coiffed Clay Vanderkolk. Left edge of the box. Harold will curl and send one away with the left foot with 17 seconds left. And that will maybe just do it here as Cruz quickly throws it in. Grace will have to work quickly, trying to get a decent shot off here with now 10 seconds left. Gilliam takes it away, looks up to see where the goalie is. With 5 seconds left, he'll left foot one forward. Couldn't get enough juice on it. And that'll bring us to the end of the first half. First goal of the year for Jules Pacelon off the assist from Flavio Cruz. And after 45 minutes of play, Grace leads Taylor 1-0. We're back with the second half after this here on the Trojan Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland. Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 5 different levels of membership for you to choose from. You can join for as low as $150, all the way up to the Trojan MVP level for $1,500. Each level receives premiums, complimentary season tickets, as well as gifts from the athletic department. Members also receive special recognition during halftime of the annual Silent Night game. In recent years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-5311 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Your heart? Well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
The decision you're making is about so much more than where you'll spend the next 4 years. It's about how you'll live the next 40. So let me break down the Taylor University experience. We integrate faith and learning to become well-rounded, lifelong learners, while delivering a deeper knowledge of our specific areas of study. Whether you're producing award-winning films, building satellites for NASA, or preparing for a national ethics debate, Taylor will push you to excel in your field. But excellence isn't always about having the right answers. Sometimes it's about asking the right questions. Taylor is interdenominational. That means we can't always fall back on specific church doctrine to settle issues. We rely on scripture and the dynamic nature of iron sharpening iron to better know the God who's not afraid of our question. Much of this happens in the small town of Upland, Indiana, the place where Taylor does life together. But don't let this small town fool you. The schedule is packed with things to do, and through these activities, faculty, staff, and students become more than individuals occupying the same address. They become a community. But this community isn't limited to the campus. We travel. Boy, do we travel. We are ranked as one of the top 10 schools in the country for overseas experiences. But it isn't just about the going. It's about the sharing of those experiences and being challenged by those who come to Upland as their international experience. Taylor is one of a few Christian colleges that expects all students to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. Now, this doesn't mean Taylor is a Christian Disneyland full of cardboard cutout perfection. Taylor is full of real people with real problems, and living together can get kind of messy. But in that mess, we take Jesus' call from John 13 seriously. We practice picking up our towel and dealing with the mess in each other's lives. We're not here just to follow the rules for 4 years. Instead, we hope to learn to live authentic lives, calling each other to lives of meaning. Every day, our focus remains on the 40, not just the 4. We'd love to show you more about Taylor. Come visit, sit in on a class, go to chapel, spend a night in a residence hall. Experience the difference for yourself.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965 when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
A light rain has started to fall and has started to pick up in intensity here at Turner Stadium. Started just at the end of the first half. And it started to carry on here as we get ready to start half number 2. It's coming from our backs here in the press box, so it's raining from the near sideline towards the far. Two teams have switched sides. Taylor outshot in the first half 12-4 by Grace, including 6-2 in shots on goal. The trailed us 1-0 as they tried to get their second win in a row and move to 2-5 on the year. Grace in search of their first win here of 2020. A cross-division matchup tonight, or an inter-division matchup tonight, is now getting the start in the second half is Zé Maria Gonçalves. The Grace women's team leading the Taylor women's soccer team 1-0 at half. Hardy flicks it on to Cole Gilliam far side as Taylor shoots on the goal to our left. A little stutter step move to get Gilliam some space. Hits the brakes as the defender goes flying by. Passes it behind Hardy. It'll be intercepted by Cruz, and Grace could not keep it moving forward before the ball went out of play across from us. So folks have put their hoods up. They've pulled for the umbrellas with that rain continuing to fall down overhead. McNeil on the far side will throw it in for TU. Hoosier, with no one around him for 10-15 yards, has plenty of room to play it to the middle, and Matt Harold. Harold right-footing one in, too far for Partain to get to, and it'll be a goal kick for Joel Bowles of Grace. Three fouls for Grace in the first half, 9 for the Trojans. And Taylor will apply pressure again on GC as they try to move it from their defensive end forward. Good pressure by Murphy, but he takes out Ulysses Miranda. And that'll be foul number 10 against Taylor here in the contest tonight. And the clock will stop as Miranda slow to get back to his feet. Now resting on both knees. And he does pop back up. That's good to see. Misting rain still falling overhead. And a long curling pass near side. Partain trying to track it down. Hamlin up to Pacelon, who had the first goal of the night. Nice move by Talamas. Coming back to take it away is Gallup for Taylor. Looking to go to Hanson, but there was too much traffic in front. And then Partain trying to draw the foul. It goes out off of Quinn, and Talamas will throw it in. He'll flip it back and let Pacelon throw it in for GC, the only goal scorer of the night in tonight's match. Paceline near side to Talamas. Right-footed flick. Hansen reads it and snags it cleanly out of the air. He's got men running in front and throws a pinpoint pass to the sprinting Owen Hardy on the far sideline. Owen hits the brakes and then maneuvers to his right, but stepping in front is Jordan Ja Perham and takes it away. Up to Gonsash. Pass to the middle, kicked away by Gallup. Peary and Hardy both there. Gilliam knocks it down, couldn't knock it down to Bowron. And coming forward will be GC. Far side to Gonsash. Centering in, and Hansen able to snag it. Hansen taking his time, wanted to connect with Bowron far side, but the defender behind him, that was Cruz, leapt into the air and headed away. McNeil throws it into space. Cruz the only one there for Grace. Went off of Bowron and out of play, and GC will have a throw-in. Nice play there by Cruz. Ball squirts free. Gallup slides, keeps Talamas from moving it forward. And here comes McNeil moving forward. Bowron heads it down. McNeil has it flicked over his head by Gonsash. Gonsash forward, wants to find Talamas. Talamas knocks it down, trying to get away from Gallup, who makes a nice slide. Still loose in the penalty area, still moving towards the end line, sent on. It goes off of Gallup's fingers, off of Hansen's fingertips on the no-angle shot by Miranda far side. It'll be corner kick number 6 of the night for Grace. And again, it'll be Paceline to take it just like he has the previous 5. This one from the far side corner to Hansen's right in the goal to our right. Paceline, low to Gonsash. Nice step in move by Harold. And he flicks one forward to Partain. Gonsash takes down Harold from behind. And play will be stopped, and a yellow card comes against Zay Maria Gonsash. So Gonsash with his first yellow card of the night, first yellow card against either team. And Dago Adat ready to come in for an early sub, just like we saw with Gonsash back in the first half. And the Taylor students trying to get Adat to turn around and smile for them, but he will not abide. He is laser focused and ready to come in to the match whenever he is allowed to. Big boot from Hansen. Wanted to find Partain. A Grace defender steps in front and heads it out of play. And Partain was too far ahead. He'll have to back up back near midfield. And again, Talamas exits for GC in place of Adat. So again, an early sub here for Grace. And so they're going to have to bring Adat out and keep Talamas in because it's a Taylor throw-in. And now Talamas will sit down on the field because of a lower body injury or just an injury of some sort. But now Talamas walking, it looks like, back towards the Grace locker room. And now both coaches very upset. And now here comes a card against Grace head coach Aaron Patrick after a warning was issued to both coaches, and now both coaches are going to get a card after both were warned by our lead official. That escalated really fast. So either way, Adat is in for Talamas. Talamas tried to give it a go in the first half, was taken out early in favor of Zay Maria Gonsash. And then here early, not even 6 minutes into the second half, Talamas, last year's Offensive Player of the Year, Looks like he's going back to the Grace locker room as Adach has come in to spell him. Still a 1-0 Grace lead as the ball works his way to the middle. Peary trying to be on top of it. Harold will knock it forward, but that's right back to TJ White. Nice move by Owen Hardy, trying to move it on through top of the penalty area. Hardy couldn't get there in time before Brenneman swept it away from the flashing Owen Hardy. Hardy scored his first career goal against Mount Vernon Nazarene a couple of weeks ago and looked to be building for maybe an opportunity at goal number 2. They throw it into Gilliam, knocked around off of Gilliam's hand, and a free kick upcoming for Grace from deep in their defensive end. Stopping and starting is Grace on the far side of the field with Miranda. Taken away from him, and Taylor will throw it in. McNeil throws it back to Hoosier, nobody within 10 yards of him. And Hoosier trying to send it all the way to the near side, gets caught off of Smith's chest with a little bit of wind starting to pick up here. And looks like the rain still misting down from overhead. Ja Perham, right foot's one forward, it went out of bounds. Actually goes all the way back, to Hansen. And Taylor will set it up from the defensive end again. They go from right to left through the Trojans in white. Grace defends in red. McNeil to Bauer and back to McNeil, trying to find Gilliam. Unsuccessful as Grace will kick it out of bounds. Again, this is the first time we talked about it in the first half. First time we've seen an opposing team apply any sort of pressure to Taylor in the defensive end when they try to build from the back. Normally, we've seen teams just kind of start at midfield, maybe 5 yards inside midfield. But here, Grace is pretty much right there on top of them. Long ball, they want to find Partain, headed in by Hamlin to the keeper Bowles before Partain could do any work with it. And Bowles, the big fellow, will fling it out to the near side after palming the soccer ball in his right hand. Nice move by Pacelon, but it had to check up. That allowed Partain to catch up to him. Played it back, Pacelon takes down Partain. And now Partain holding that left knee. Pacelon trying to check on Partain. And then time will be stopped with 37-21 remaining here in the second half. Quinn hops to his feet on the aid by the freshman from Paris, Pacelon. Four fouls against Grace, 10 against Taylor. Hardy comes to get the short pass from the free kick. Flicks it near side, Gilliam poking it forward. Partain trying to turn, lays it back to Webby Peary. Peary to Partain, pressure right there on his hip by Pacelon. Lost it now, Grace shot out of a cannon with Ulysses Miranda. Here comes McNeil, chasing down a man from behind, and Adach, excuse me. And Harold near side to Gallup as Taylor tries to build out of the back. Pacelon collides with Gallup and wins the ball back here for TU. Gonsash couldn't get away from Hoosier, plays it back to White with pressure coming from behind by Gilliam. Hamlin to the middle of the field, and this will be in the defensive side and Cruz. Across the midline to Adach. White got tangled up with Gallup, and Grace will keep it moving forward near side with Gonsash. Big move to his left, continues to carry to his left. As a player down behind the play in Grace and TJ White. Pacelon pops it into the air. That'll sail out of play behind the goal as White's still slow to get back to his feet, favoring his right foot. And after our smooth moving and a yellow card issued against Alex Gallup, after that smooth moving first half, there was such a beautiful flow to our contest. We've gotten pretty choppy here in half number 2 as the clock stops for yet another time here in the second half, this time with 36-14 remaining. As Talamas has now come back out of the Grace locker room and is being attended to in the medical tent down below us. Harold up to Murphy, then back to Harold in the defensive end. Taylor going from right to left in White. They trail Grace by 1 after the goal by Jules Pacelon in the opening half. Hardy, nice move, got tangled up and went off of his boot, but a foul called, and it'll remain with Taylor. 5th foul tonight against GC. McNeil with a free kick. Less than 9 minutes, just over 9 minutes into the second half. Hoosier will take this free kick, far edge. 5 yards inside midfield. A lot of pace to this one, high in, ball knocked around, punched away by Bowles, the keeper. And White trying to run away from Peary near side. Gonçalves sweeping back to the middle and Pacelon. Pacelon wants to punch it forward to Gonçalves, who's in a foot race with Murphy. Coming in to help is Harold, who slides and deflects it out of play. Taylor being outshot by 10 tonight, 14-4 and 8-2 in shots on goal. The ball thrown into Harold, but it deflected off of, he kicked it out of bounds, and GC will throw it in again with Pacelon. Into a Dodge who spins away from Hardy. Top edge of the penalty area, back to the right side, a pass on through to Gonçalves. Gets there as he's marked by Harold. Gonçalves to his left, a cross in and a goal for Grace on a beautiful play on the assist from Gonçalves. It was knocked in by Ulysses Miranda, and it's 2-0 Grace with 34:41 left to go here in the second half. Just a beautiful play there by Gonçalves. Turns and kicked to the middle, and coming flying in was Miranda with the header. First goal of the year for Miranda. And the Trojans bring in James McBride to spell Murphy. So Taylor down 2-0, trying to get their first goal of the night. With 34 minutes and change to work here. Peary, near side of the field for Taylor, trying to get to the end line to our left, sends one in, kicked away into the night sky and out of play by Kyle Smith. But Taylor will have a corner kick for the first time here in the second half. It'll be their third one of the match tonight. As Hardy will jog to the near side corner to take it for TU. Taylor could strike quickly here. It would give them plenty of time to try to equalize the game, but you got to get the first one before you can get the second one. Hardy with his hands on his hips, left hand into the air, and right foots this one towards the back of the box. It's going to go over everyone's head. Pacelon got his head on it. McNeil, the closest one to it for Taylor. He'll let it go out of play, and he'll throw it in for the Trojans across from us. Gilliam knocks it back. Hoosier sends one wide of the far side post, and a goal kick upcoming for Joe Bowles and Grace. And now Grace will try to build out of the back. Again, trying to beat that pressure of Taylor. Went off the back of Hoosier. And Gallup will knock this one up for Taylor to Harold. Near side pass to Jay McBride. And now to Partain. Left footing it up to Hardy. He's got to hit the brakes to come back to get it. Trying to spin over that right shoulder with Hamlin marking his every step. Plays it back to James McBride. Here's Peary. McBride steps through a challenge into the center circle. The pass goes to Harold. Harold accelerating to his right. Laying it off to McNeil. Pressure right there. Pass back to Hoosier. And a through ball here. Gilliam trying to fight for space, but the offside flag in the air. I guess it looks like Bowron. Second offside against Taylor tonight. Here comes the Taylor pressure again as a Dodge tries to build out of the back for GC. Stopping and starting far side Brenneman, but he lost it out of play. And Taylor will throw it in across from us, down 2-0 with 32 minutes remaining here in the second half against Grace. Gilliam turns and heads towards the middle of the field. A man right on his hip, lays it back to Hardy. He sees Gallup, who fills the space on the near side. Up to Partain. Pass too far in front of Hardy, and Grace will kick it up near side. It takes a left-hand turn, and that allows Gonçalves out of Portugal to jump on top of the ball. Curls one in. The only one there is Hansen for TU. And now Hansen will direct things here for the Trojans. They'll roll it out to Hoosier. Up to Hardy, and then back to Hoosier near side of the field in the defensive half. Then Hardy again. Turning to his left, plays it right to the feet of James McBride. Off the right side, off the outside of his foot, up to Peary. Partain's got a turn to come find it, lays it back to Hardy as the Trojans have to hit the brakes on their movement. Peary dancing and getting away from Gonçalves. Jay McBride back to Gallup, and then all the way curling one back to the defensive end in Hansen as he angles towards the far side. Passing forward to Harold. And then a big left foot near side, but this one is cut off by Hamlin. They pass to White, and Grace sends it forward. It went off the hand, and there is no whistle. It looked like the ball went off of Miranda's hand. It looked like the official got the ball the whistle, and then no whistle claim, no tweet. Far sideline, Grace passes to the middle. Miranda's got one goal tonight, hits the brakes, got away from Jay McBride, and there's a block in the penalty area by Hoosier. And a corner upcoming for Grace, it looks like. No, a goal kick, excuse me. Bowron tied up far side, but then Grace able to hold it in. Sprinting move with Miranda. Gonçalves in the middle. Little move to his left. Gonçalves will airmail this one high and wide. As Hansen frustrated kicking the goalpost across from us. Johnny Moore and Blake Burns come in for Grace, I should say, replacing Pacelon and Gonçalves. But Burns has made some new friends here down below us. The Taylor students asked Burns what his favorite color was. He turned and held up the red of his uniform, and that got a rousing applause from the TU students. Bowron out, Matipa in for TU. James McBride has entered into the contest as well, replacing Cole Gilliam. Matipa, far side as Taylor goes from right to left and white. They can't connect with Paul McBride. As the Trojans down 2-0, they need to start getting some shots and getting some offense going here, kind of like what we saw back in the first half. Hoosier moves forward. Peary pressured from behind, still tied up, and a foul called all the way. As the ball was played back, foul called against Grace, their 6th one tonight. There's a shot, and this one knocked down by Bowles. Taylor still down 2-0 as Aaron Patrick, the head coach of Grace, has a conversation with some of the Taylor students down below us. Gonçalves sharing in on the convo as well, sharing a laugh with the Taylor students on this fall break. Far side, Hardy. Nice slide by Cruz to keep the ball away from Hardy. Then a long ball sent in, a foot race here. Hansen has it knocked away from him, but he gets it back, then quickly flings it out to the near side and Gallup. It was Burns that was barreling down on the Taylor keeper. And now they work the ball up to Burns once again. Turns and lays it off to Miranda, poking into space. McNeil tried to clear. Here's Miranda with a rising shot that sails over the crossbar and out of play. Hardy has to go off of his feet. Trying to say it went off of someone from Grace, but it'll be a GC throw-in from their attacking half as Tyler Bruckman gets ready to come in for the Lancers. 26:45 remaining here in the second half. Taylor down 2-0. They've been unable to muster much offense here in this second half. Just 2 shots to show for it and 1 on goal here in the second half of play so far. But Grace with another tally on the goal by Ulysses Miranda for his first score of the year. To go with Pacelon's first collegiate goal for the freshman out of Paris. McBride tried to turn, couldn't keep it moving forward, deflected back to Peary. Long pass near side to Partain as we approach 26 minutes remaining in the second half. Partain, nice move, sprinting to the end line, sends it through, deflected back. Peary trying to knock it down, takes a weird bounce. He'll lay it on back. Here comes Harold with a riser that sails 50 feet in the air and out of play. Right idea for Harold, just got too much underneath of it. Here comes Bruckman in for GC. And Grace was too quick on the restart as Ulysses Miranda makes his way off the field.
In for the Lancers, number 27, Tyler Buckner.
McNeil finds Peary, right footing it into space. And then it'll be Burns sprinting forward. Gilliam ready to come back in for TU. It's Brenneman on the near side to throw it in for GC. Hoosier wants to work it to Peary and does. But then Hoosier unable to clear. Here's Burns sprinting to the end line. Gallup comes in, kicks it away for a throw in near side for GC. Centering ball, deflected. Grace trying to knock it down. They sprint to the left side, blocked. Hansen comes off the line and snags after the shot from Johnny Mora was blocked. Nineteenth shot of the night for GC as Matipa operates far side. Big right foot trying to connect with Partain. Could not as Hamlin stepped in front. P. McBride will sweep it to Partain. Partain moving it back. Near side to Jay McBride. Taylor down 2-0. Now James up to Paul. P. McBride, left edge of the penalty area, poked away from him by Hamlin, who turns up the near side of the field and sends it forward on a long pass. But then Burns will deflect it out as Gallup gets ready to throw in for Taylor. Before Gilliam comes in to replace Partain. Hardy will dink it over to Matipa, who had the game winner Wednesday in double overtime against St. Francis. Running to the end line, tried to center, and is sent out of play. .23-25 remaining here in half number 2. 2-0 the Grace lead as the Lancers try to find their first win of the season. You know, we've all been affected by COVID-19 this year, and if you haven't heard about the fantastic story of the Grace men's soccer team and the little mini marathons that they were running to raise money for COVID-19 relief in support of one of their teammates, it's a fantastic story. We don't really have the time to get into it now. There's a lot of layers to it, and it's pretty detailed. But I invite you to go to the Crossroads League website and the men's soccer page to find it. They were interviewed on ESPN for it for Outside the Lines, or you can go to the fantastic coverage by Josh Newhart, the Grace SID, on the Grace website. Just go back into the archives and find it over the summer. It's a story that is really worth your time to go and check out, as they really rallied around the support of a teammate and were able to run and raise money, tens of thousands of dollars. I believe over $20,000 raised from all the different running that the Grace men's soccer team did. Some fantastic media coverage from both local and national, and just a really good story, and it's really worth your time for you to go check out when you have it. David Koch about to check in out of Hamburg, Germany. And Taylor again trying to connect on the near side. They cannot get to Gilliam. But Jay McBride plays it up to Gilliam just inside midfield. Cole running. Tries to press it forward off the deflection. It's kept back, and now Grace will try to turn up the near side of the field with Gilliam applying pressure from behind. Sprinting forward is Miranda. Actually make that Cruz. His pass is off target, and McNeil will throw it in across from us. P. McBride wants to work it forward, cannot get to it in time. Then Grace turns and plays it out. Held in by Brenneman. Back to the captain, Hamlin. Rainbowing one to the offensive end. James McBride cuts his man off and lays it down to Gallup on the near edge. Gallup to Harold. Back to Hoosier. Hoosier wanted to go to Hanson, but there was a Grace player there too close. Hoosier has his pass blocked by Burns. Ball spinning like a top. Hoosier trying to get away from Burns, who lopes it to the far side. Nobody there to defend, and heading it home is Dago Adach, who was wide open on the weak side. Nobody there, and he foreheads it home to put the Grace lead to 3-0 with just over 21 minutes remaining here tonight. And for Adach, that is his first goal of the season for the sophomore out of Japan. We'll see who they give the assist to, but a beautiful play as Adach was all by his lonesome. So 3-0 the Grace lead. They came in with just one goal on the year. They've tripled. They've added 3 to that total here tonight. And they've outshot Taylor 20-7 here this evening. Peary can't apply pressure on White, who lays it off to Brenneman on the near side of the field. And then Brenneman gets it back and pushes it forward. Jay McBride got his toe on it. No one home wearing white. And the only one there was Ethan Koslak for GC. To give Blake Burns the assist for Grace here tonight. And then Gallup will clear it away from the penalty area. McBride flicks it back to the feet of Kyle Smith. Then Smith goes to Kosh. Kosh, the newcomer in, first action of the night. Taylor with 20 minutes remaining here in the second half, now down by 3 after 2 second half goals. One by the man with the ball at his feet in Adach. And so Adach finds the ball to White. Brenneman on the near edge of the penalty area, left foot's one in. Pass not enough juice to get to White cleanly. Gilliam got in front to make life difficult, then continues to pressure up the near side. It went off of either he or Koslak, and it was off the Taylor captain, Koslak. As here comes Dan Allen in for Grace, out of England, freshman. And the captain armband will be given to TJ White, but the ball played in before he could put the armband on. And he kicks it away, now he's got the band on. Foul against Taylor, far side of the field. Free kick upcoming for the Lancers. Passing the center circle and Dan Allen. Right foot's one down to the near side, and then Allen gets it back. He's got to chase after it. He'll get it before P. McBride could get a toe on it. Now GC will set it up in the defensive end with David Kosh. To Adach, trying to get away from McNeil. Adach moving forward, slips one on. Burns is there, but Hanson dives on top of it before Burns can make a play. Hanson rolls it out to Hoosier. Then McNeil will give it back to Hoosier on the far edge. Ball kicked out. Smith will throw it in deep in the defensive end for GC, and the Lancers will set it up once again here with Dan Allen. Allen over Adach's head, couldn't find its intended target. McNeil sprinting, trying to fight for position with Adach, wanted to poke it to the middle, couldn't keep it moving forward, then he wins it back. Hardy, quick move to his right, trying to get space, and a foot race here on the right edge of the penalty area. A big slide from behind will send that ball out of play. But it's a foul against the Grace player defending Hardy, who's now slow to get back to his feet. The foul goes against David Kosh. Came in from behind, had an aggressive slide tackle that got more of Hardy than the ball. The ball went screaming out of play. As you can hear the Taylor fans down below begging for a card that will not come. 17:38 remaining here in the second half. Taylor down 3-0. It'll be a free kick, just about a yard or two, and here is the card against Kosh. And Matipa looks to be taking this one, who's got a really good left foot. 17:39 with the clock stopped here in the second half. Bowles directing traffic out of his goal for GC. Free kick far side, about a yard or two just outside the far edge of the penalty area. Matipa scored the game winner in double overtime Wednesday. We'll see what he can do here with a dangerous opportunity right now. Matipa readies. Flicks it on left foot high to the backside, and that one too high for everybody as it goes out. Mitchell Strasser about to come in for Grace. Clay Vanderkolk and Quinn Partain in for the Trojans. First time we've seen Strasser this evening. As TJ White will exit for GC. Hardy will come off and get looked at by athletic trainer Joe Walter. Brian Matipa exits as well for the home team. Grace kicks it out. McNeil to throw it in. Chested down by Partain. Wanted to work to the middle, could not. And now the ball finds the feet of Webby Peary. Back to Jay McBride, left foot curler. Near side Gilliam. Pressure behind on Harold, loses his footing on the challenge by Koslak, and a foul is called. Then too quick of a restart. Actually goes off of Taylor, excuse me. And Grace will throw it in just at the end of the Taylor bench. Quick passing here to Bruckman. Far sideline, Johnny Moore now moving to the middle. Moves to his left, long shot. And this one will come in on the near side on Mora's first goal of the year. And it'll be 4-0 Grace with 16:07 left to go here in the second half on a really pretty goal there by Johnny Mora. Grace had been trying to find their offense with just one goal in their first 3 games. They've scored 4 of them tonight. As Michael Cooper's come in for Grace along with Wes Williams. Talamas is the only one with a goal coming in. He's barely played tonight for the Lancers. As Luke Ash, the junior keeper out of Warsaw, getting warmed up down below us. Corner near side for GC. After the ball goes across the end line, last touch by Taylor. Looks to be Wes Williams. Will take this from the near side corner with the left foot. 7th corner of the night for GC. Their second one here the second half. They played out towards the top of the penalty area. And then sent back in softly into traffic. Turning and shooting and sailing it over the crossbar and out of play. Looked to be Dan Allen. Wes Williams moving in after taking the pass away for Grace. Wants the end line, can't get to it as he kicks it out. And a goal kick for Hansen is upcoming. Another bad pass. Trying to turn into offense here for GC, but the pass is too strong as it goes across the end line. Famade Bamba about to come in, the freshman out of England for GC. 14-10 and counting here in the second half as Hansen surveys the field in front of him. Long ball. Too far for P. McBride to get to as it goes out of play. And Bamba will be allowed to join the fun here tonight. A 4-0 Grace lead. They led 1-0 at the break. They've scored 3 goals here tonight. And a couple of real pretty ones for the Lancers. They're trying to find their groove offensively after having just 1 goal in their first 3 matches of the year. Peary in the center circle. Taylor's offense has been stuck in neutral here in the second half after having some nice opportunities in the first half, but just a completely different looking Taylor team here since halftime. Cooper with a brace on his right wrist throws it in. As Strasser with that captain's armband trying to maneuver away from Taylor players. Harold sprinting up the far edge for TU. Wants to cross, deflected on back. Vanderkolk knocks it down, pushes it forward, trying to find P. McBride, could not. Peary trying to leg it out, couldn't get there in time. As Gilliam sprints to the end line, Murphy was close to it, but he couldn't touch it, knowing that he'd be ruled offside. Tyler Dayhoff comes in for the first time tonight, along with Braden Murphy, who makes his return. And Tanner Solly makes his first appearance of the night for GC. He replaces Kyle Smith. As Peary gets a breather for Taylor. Gallup works into the air. And they'll whistle the foul against Grace, and a free kick for Taylor in midfield with less than 12 minutes remaining here in the second half, and Taylor trailing by 4. Hoosier plays it all the way back to Hansen, who's come way out from his goal. Turns it calmly plays it to McNeil. Across the midfield into space. Vanderkolk trying to find some footing. Kicked away from him, and Taylor will throw it in on the far sideline with Noah Rodman coming in for the home team. Rodman will replace Vanderkolk. McNeil in, Rodman wanting to find that position, couldn't get there in time. And Bamba's controlling the far side for Grace. Taylor steps in front of the pass, Rodman trying to move it forward. But then Grace will just kick it away towards the defensive end. Hansen well outside the 18's got to direct traffic cleanly with a man barreling down on top of him. Gallup plays it back to Hansen, up to Harold. Near side, Jay McBride, poked away from him. Gallup fakes to the big first step. Then they work it up to Partain. Gallup, McBride, nice triangle passing. McBride with a man riding on his hip and Cooper. Tight quarters passing, cannot find Partain cleanly, and here comes Burns quickly the other way for GC and Bamba. Wes Williams, far side for GC, back to Bamba. Wants to move it to the middle of the field and now does. Near sideline, the pass finds the feet of Michael Cooper. Sends one into the box, backing up as Hansen. A man fell down in the penalty area. It was Bamba, then played back into the box and then finally cleared away by Hoosier. Grace's bench looking for a foul inside the box that would have resulted in a penalty kick, but it falls on deaf ears. Strasser trails. Here's Gilliam coming out to mark him up. Koslak passing to the far sideline. This one bounces over Gallup's head. Hansen keeps it going across the end line in case it might have been touched by a Taylor player. But it's been all Grace here in the second half. They scored 3 goals and lead 4-0. They've dominated in shots tonight, 22-7 and 13-3 in shots on goal. Rodman and Kosh right there, but it went off of Taylor. Kosh to throw it in, but not before Gabe Bowen comes in for Taylor. Shamar Degans comes in for the first time for Grace, along with Luke Smith. Degans out of Trinidad and Tobago. Smith out of Worthington, Ohio, former high school classmate and teammate of Kyle Smith, both from Worthington Christian School over there in Ohio. Backup keeper Luke Ash gets ready to make his first appearance of the year for GC. They also have the local product Sam Boyer, his freshman season, who graduated from nearby Oak Hill last May. Hansen sends it up to the center circle. Couldn't find anyone in white, but the ball deflected down, and here's Gallup. They could not find the ball cleanly to Jay McBride. Pressing forward, here comes Grace, penalty area. Playing it back to the middle. Bamba overruns it. And now Grace will regroup on the far side of the field with Bamba trying to re-engage. Bamba to the end line. McNeil marks him. They pop it back up top. Shot was blocked on its way there. Off of Taylor in a corner from the far side, about to commence here for Grace. And the keepers will be allowed to switch as Ash comes in to get Bowles. Michael Strasser looks to be the one manning the corner from the far side here for GC. A high in-swinger that Hansen snags in traffic, and Hansen comes sprinting out and turns and drives a punt up towards the near side. Partain was running too far. He's got to come back and retreat to get it, but then the ball goes out of play. And Grace will throw it in with a 4-0 lead with 6:35 remaining here in the second half. Deep throw in here. Gallup try to kick it away from Bamba, who runs toward the end line, hits the brakes, and plays it on back. A cross towards the backside. Nobody there for GC. As they try to work it there, then a whistle comes and a violation against the Lancers. And Taylor will have the free kick with Hansen from deep in their defensive end. A built-in off Wednesday for everybody this upcoming Wednesday. The Trojans are at Goshen on Saturday before coming back here a week from Wednesday against Spring Arbor. Dayhoff wants to try to work it to his classmate Rodman, and then they whistle Dayhoff for the foul. Five and a half minutes left to go in this one. It's been all Grace tonight, out shooting Taylor 24-7 and 14-3 in shots on goal. And Taylor just has not had any scoring opportunities here in this second half. Partain maneuvering to his left. This one sent into the penalty area and kicked away, and Partain will throw it in near sideline for Taylor. But the clock will stop as the Grace player reties his boot. And now here we go. Taylor throws it into Murphy. Back to Partain, who threw it to him. Up the near side and Gallup. Deflected it off of a Grace player. And out to Partain. Up to Murphy. Then Partain taken down below us. Near side free kick for Quinn Partain. 4:35 and counting here in half two. Couple quick steps, curls it in. Cleared away by a Grace defender, and Taylor will have the corner from the near side of the field. Partain trying to take as little time as possible. Bouncing in, Harold sends it into the area, cleared away as Hoosier tries to get on top of it first. Takes a big first touch towards the end line. The defender beats him there, and Smith who kicks it away. Throw into the penalty area, 3 players around Rodman. Back to the end line it goes, and it's off of Grace in a Taylor corner with 3:45 left to go second half, and Grace up 4. Partain from the far side, 2 hands in the air. Again. And a left-footed in-swinger punched away by Ash, headed back towards the penalty area, and then flicked away as it was Dayhoff on the backside for Taylor. Lets the ball go out off of GC, and Taylor will have it on the near side. What a beautiful ball sent in there by Partain. But it looks like Taylor was offside, and so it's a free kick for Grace with 3:10 and counting here in the second half. Grace at midfield. McBride got in front of the pass. Partain sends one to the sky, and Rodman in the middle of the field. To the midline, Harold to Partain, and then down below us to James McBride. James stops and off to Quinn. Pass behind Gallup. And this one sent all the way to the other end of the field where Hansen's got to come out of the penalty area. Pressure from Bamba. Hansen trying to elude him. And then Bamba takes Hansen down from behind. The whistle blows, and Bamba's going to get a yellow card. But too aggressive of a tackle on the Taylor keeper, Joaquin Hansen. .232 to go second half. Grace up 4-0. A very physical second half between these two teams. With only 3 fouls in the second half after having 9 in the first. Grace has had 8 in the second half after having just 3 in the first. And a handful of yellow cards have been issued tonight as well. James McBride to Rodman at midfield for Taylor. His pass knocked down. Murphy tried to get there first, couldn't get there. Then tries to sweep it away from a defender. Rodman works back and is able to find Harold. Gallup will fake to his left and go to his right. His pass knocked down. Harold trying to keep it moving in Taylor's favor for the time being with 2:05 to go second half. And then DeGons is on top of it for GC and Cooper. Dayhoff had to go off of him. And Grace will throw it in down below us. They throw it to the near side corner. Smith in hot pursuit with Gallup right there on his right hip. And DeGons will throw it in for GC, or will he? Nope. He will let Cooper throw it in. Ball back to Cooper. But the flag in the air, offside against GC. Again, Shamar DeGons with 83 seconds left to go here. A big second half for Grace as they're going to go on their way to their first win of the season. They'll move to 1-2-1, get a big 3 points. And they might be able to leapfrog Spring Arbor depending on what happens with the number 12 team in the country tonight. The Trojans will fall to 1-6, 1-5 in the Crossroads League. Still 1 point back of Marion, but Marion holds the tiebreaker. Those two teams will meet coming up later in the season. And Taylor's also 3 points back of St. Francis, the team that they beat on Wednesday. So the Trojans will have a week off to try to regroup and figure out what went wrong tonight before they take on Goshen on Saturday, who hasn't played a lot of matches this year until recently. Fancy footwork from DeGons. Spins away with 33 seconds left. His pass taken away as Partain sprints up the near side. Partain in a foot race with Michael Cooper, who gets whistled for the foul for tugging on Partain. Partain takes it and kicks it off the back of DeGons, who is standing in front of him. Partain into the center circle, and Harold. And then McNeil. McNeil in a space with 10 seconds left. Grace is going to win their first game of the year with a 4-0 final over Taylor tonight. The Trojans fall to 1-6 and 1-5 in Crossroads League action. Taylor still has not won a game yet here at home. As they go on the road a week from tonight at Goshen, they'll try to pick up their first win coming up on October 14th when they welcome Spring Arbor here to Turner Stadium. Special thanks to Josh Fenwick and Ashton Whitman, our fantastic crew tonight. We thank you folks for tuning in as well. We hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. This has been a presentation of Taylor Men's Soccer here on the Trojan Sports Network.